Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GameReplays.org Heroes of New Earth cast. I am your host tonight, Four Court Jester. With me is Luke DeRiff, our senior strategy specialist, and we are in the CSN Finals between MSI and Load. This is game number 2. Load has a very convincing game number 1 under their belt, as they were able to just basically waltz in anywhere they wanted and just did whatever they wanted to MSI. And Chu playing Pebbles was just a great refreshing see. And I gotta say, Chu still has it. What do you think there, Luke?
Yeah, definitely. Basically, Chew steamrolled MSI, and all the people that said Chew is not gonna have a great impact on Load are better off with Chew. Without Chew, well, you're wrong. Chew is just an extremely outstanding player. I gotta say that. I really, I, I was amazed. I was really amazed last game.
Yep, can't really go wrong with any of that. So, this turn round, we still have the bands coming out, and other than that Witch Slayer band, they're all the same actually as game number 1. Repulsor, Engineer, Pharaoh, and I think even Soulstealer was banned last game as well. And Devourer too. It was 5 out of the 6 bans. So who was the one not banned? Thunderbringer. Thunderbringer was the ban last turn, and this time it is Witch Slayer. So you think we're going to see some of that overpowered Thunderbringer play?
Well, it's not overpowered. He's just a lot more viable than he used to be.
People call that
Um,
overpowered.
Well, no,
There he
there's a
is.
border between no, there's a border in between being overpowered, which and being more viable. Would you call Dark Lady overpowered?
Not in the slightest.
C, but she's picked up more regularly by Empire. She's just more viable. She seems to be, people seem to get along with her better. And Thunderbringer's this Blood Shield works really well on him, and that's why he's more viable. It's not like you pick Thunderbringer, you win the game.
All right.
That's
Well, we had a
only
pan.
because Angel throws around the word overpowered
Oh, whatever.
for everything. It's not true though.
Angel's overpowered, so yeah.
Yeah.
But we did have that Panda lane, trademark MSI Panda lane, and they basically failed with it last turn as Load shut them down, 5-man ganking. You think we're going to see a return of that?
Yeah, I think MSI they know that this panel lane does really well, and they know that what they basically did wrong last time, and they're gonna adjust to that. I think. The panel lane is not weak, and Panda, it himself is of course not a weak hero. So, as we see their first two picks being Slither and Voodoo Jester, I suspect another trial lane, and yeah, and I seeing that MSI have picked Panda whenever they could get him, I think they will get him this time again.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. All right, so we had first pick come out. I believe it was for Load. Yeah, Load picking up Thunderbringer right off the bat, and as we
Well,
were kind of
obviously.
mentioning before, with a Chalice now, granting all that extra mana for a little bit of health, Thunderbringer is just able to do all that much more. Spam, 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 does really great in basically any situation. Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah, that was basically the problem. Well, was not the problem. It was one of the problems of Thunderbringer was that he has a really crappy attack range and a crappy attack animation, so he relies on the chain lightning to actually get last hits. Well, the point is he can't afford to spam the chain lightning. Well, he couldn't, but now if he can get a bottle and a power supply, then you got the mana, you got it all covered, and that's the point. Well, and as a result of that, we see the Thunderbringer starting build include a Crushing Claw and a Mark of the Novice. I can promise you that one.
Right, because you can easily pick up the
The Blood Chalice.
right. Yeah, just right off the bat, side lane it, no
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, for sure. All right, so Thunderbringer's going to be pairing up there with a Valkyrie Andromeda. So Andromeda could be a roamer, could be a laner, could be a tri-lane. A lot you can do with
Ah, come
him.
on, try lane.
Well, it's like the Terran build from StarCraft 2, 1-1-1. You can just do anything you want with it, and no one really knows until you do it. There's the Panda, though, for Trixie, so it looks like they are going to go with that again. Hellbringer picked up for that initiation. That is kind of something they really just lacked last game, MSI, initiation.
Well, they didn't lack it. They were wrecked by Chu. They had Bubbles, who's a great initiator, but we see a Nighthound. So that's cool. We see a Nighthound trial lane on Load side with Glacius and Andromeda most likely, and then we have Valkyrie soloing and Thunderbringer in the solo mid. But I'm interested in that Hellbringer pick because, as it stands, we probably. Oh no, we see Slither and Trixie,
You see
and
a
you
Trixie
know
for
what?
now.
Yeah, but mm, we'll see how that turns out because they got three heroes that are really good in the trial lane right now. And seeing that now, they're gonna run a trial lane and then probably two solos, and Tundra's obviously gonna be one solo, and the other solo is either gonna be Slither or Hellbringer. And seeing that Trixie hasn't swapped it yet, we probably are seeing this Slither, good Slither solo that we've been talking about last game.
Oh, I'd like to eventually see a solo Slither just so that I can put naysayers to rest, but I mean, we'll see what they do. We will see what they do. I like the
Well,
Nighthound
all
though.
attacking. Yeah,
I like the
I
Nighthound.
like the
Yeah.
Nighthound as well.
All right, as the
It's
announcer
always
says.
good to see other heroes. It's always good to see something different, and we haven't seen Nighthound in a while, have we?
I think they had him a few weeks back. Nighthound went mid against Repulsor and just absolutely wrecked him. What were the teams? I can't tell. Can't remember. But
Yeah,
it's been yeah,
oh my
it's
God,
been a while.
we have a pause.
Yeah, pause. I mean, it's not a competitive game without a pause. I mean, our competitive pause came really late in game number one, but that aside, yeah. So it's always good to see more heroes introduced into the higher tier. I mean, I know not Hellbringer, sorry, Thunderbringer has been mentioned a lot. With power supply bottle, get a chalice, bam, 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 and good game, Thunder God. But I mean, I have not seen him personally in a tier level game in a while.
Yeah, definitely. But well, that's when somebody just thinks of something, one of those pro players, and he thinks like, oh, that could work out. He tries it, it works really well, and then suddenly everybody goes it. These pro players, they're all watching them, each other, and they're playing these high skilled in houses and scrims. They all know what's going on, and yeah, it could be problem of HoN really is that there's no secrecy. Like when you in Dota, just I hate comparing it, but in Dota you could like play games and develop strategies and nobody would know of it, and then you would probably in a tournament, like in a really high price tournament, come in, do an amazing strategy that nobody has seen before in this finals or something. But that is not going to happen in HoN, simply because all replays are, you can download every replay. Every game that is played is recorded, and every replay is public. So yeah.
Just like when the World of Warcraft Armory was introduced, you could see people's gold, their items, bank, and people were just like, nah, too much non-piracy, blah, 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 cry, cry, cry. We haven't had any crying with the replay system here, but I mean, it could be, as you say, with the detrimental. I mean, if you practice strategies and you want to bust it out in a tournament, well, chances are people have already seen the replays, seen you practicing it, know exactly how to counter it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and know the photo of ways how to counter it. Sometimes it takes long, or it's just simply not impossible. But we could. No, Caesar hasn't picked up his items, so we could have found out whether Caesar is going to solo, but he hasn't picked up his starting items. Hellbringer, interesting starting build. He's picking up a Crushing Claw and a Macro of the Novice, so he's probably going for a really early Bloodshirtless
yeah,
as
and he's
well.
heading top to that secret shop, who has a nice trinket of restoration.
Which he probably likes, and then put up a Bloodshirtless as really a good build because then you can spam this I always forget the names. Death Boil. This is a great harassment tool, and try to give him an easier time in his lane. But anyway, that's a pretty long pause.
Well, man.
Well, Jester,
Yes.
I Smurf Tang asked me the other day, which pool do you think is more comfortable? It's like the black dark pool of the Hellborn side, or the nice and you know bright pool of the Legion side.
Well,
Which one would you rather be
to be
sitting in?
honest, it looks like the Hellborn pool is tar, and that's a flaming mouth. So flaming tar is kind of detrimental to my complexion. So I think I would go for the Legion one. Yeah, it's a nice calm spring of pure water. You could probably drink it. That kind of idea.
Yeah,
So to keep
but
my
you
skin
have
on, I think I would take the Legion one.
yeah, that's probably it. But now we start with the king finally.
Come on, that's flaming tar. I'm looking at it. Even the courier doesn't want to stand in it. It's flying.
Yeah. So.
Alright, so down south we got Tundra going.
Oh no, Thunderbringer going a different build than I than I thought. He's actually rushing a bottle. Yeah, it's definitely not a bad idea because bottle ferrying if they have a flying courier, which
They
they
most
do.
likely have a flying courier. Can I find it right now? No, but
Yes, you can because they're both
yeah,
down
they're
bottom.
playing tag.
Coming up, yeah. No, anyway, so you're gonna bottle ferrying, you can get those early levels in chain lightning, and then pick up this the blood chillers as fast as possible, and then you just spam away.
Spam away.
And he's just great. Angel, the last game he basically stated all the reasons why Thunderbringer is great at the moment, because also not only does he have infinite mana due to the Bloodshirtless and Bottle combination, he also is very, very good to beat on those under-level support heroes in trial lanes. With his nuking power, he can just take them out all the time. And not like Pebbles, but Pebbles is like another, nuker, and we saw how well that worked the last game for Chu.
Yeah, Chu definitely cleaned up middle. As a note, you're kind of going robot through everything, so you don't have any surprise downloads going, do you? Okay,
No.
good. So Thunderbringer's dead. 4-man gank in the middle is a quick bloodlust, 30 seconds. Yep. Even through all that, look at Tundra. I mean, he almost died by himself. And that's just going to put these guys quickly up here at a first lead. Now, we do have wards here. Low Dodo and Nova, they have wards at this bottom one here, but they still decided to stay near the lane. Now, I just don't understand the mentality that you knew they were coming, but at the same time, he still died and he didn't even move. So, I don't know. That's just me. Just me.
Yeah, it's just going to be really interesting how that middle lane turns out and how well Tundra can actually keep up with Thunderbringer. Because especially when Thunderbringer gets that Bloodshirtless up, he's just gonna, Tundra's has to be really careful about moving in anywhere, because he's gonna be constantly harassed and close to death. And Thunderbringer having this long range blast of lightning, wouldn't be super surprised to see some early kills on Tundra here. I've seen it actually before happening, so.
Well, let's just take a quick look up top. Hellbringer and Valkyrie is the combo there, and as you said, spamming that Blood Boil, or sorry, not Blood Boil, Death Boil. Blood Boil is totally a different game, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be keeping Valkyrie on her toes. She does have the arrow, she has Call of the Valkyrie Javelin, so if she can get off a sweet stun, it's probably game over for him. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. Panda's going to go in here on Glacius, but this might be turned around on him, as it does look like that's gonna get him with that Nighthound and the Clouds. So I was waiting for the clutch moment, but Glacius did go down as well. But hey, if you can trade a support for a carry, I will gladly trade that all day, as long as I'm not either the party that died.
Every time. If you wake me up at 12 o'clock at night, do you want to trade a support for a carry? Yes, of course. Especially with no, it's just with Nighthound as well being a good hero in this trial lane. Actually, now that I think of it, I've never thought of it before, but he is really good at grabbing the skills that are set up by his support heroes with his pounds, and he can be very helpful with a smoke cloud, obviously here.
Yeah, the smoke cloud is going to make all the difference, just blanketing across the support as well as the Panda. Because I mean, even if he does do all that physical damage, I mean, it still technically counts as a spell, and you will be silenced from it.
Yeah, and that at first, and secondary again, Nighthound is one of those heroes that is really good at pounding on the weak. And with trial lanes, you always have normally two heroes that are weak, which are the trial lane support heroes. Just like Thunderbringer, Nighthound is very good at that.
Just take a quick look at your Thunderbringer. He does have the setup for that Chalice going, so Bottle Chalice combo is just going to return him a load of mana, because he's with Team Load.
Oh god, that was so lame, Chester.
A load of mana.
Yeah, anyways.
Yep. So we got the tri-lane kind of pushing into the Legion here, which, well, I don't know, it's not really going to do them very well, because if they just keep pushing down to the tower, I mean, you can't really deny that close, especially with a Panda, because you're just going to start getting wailed on.